All right, welcome to the Pirates of Drinax. We'll be picking up where we left off last week, which is these guys have made it into the command center of the installation on
I thought
TickTick that
we,
they
I
bel
thought we finished this.
No, not yet.
Yeah, we
Um,
did. We left.
no, do you where we left off? The a lucid female had
Okay,
of
okay, that's right.
yep,
That's right.
yep,
I'm
and
thinking.
so
I'm thinking a different night.
So yeah, they have discovered the installation on TickTick where they believe that the bioweapon that is basically degenerating the Aslan into feral savages is being manufactured, and they've discovered that the installation is pretty much gone through the ringer, and a Aslan female carrying somebody's arm with her has dropped down out of the air duct in the or maintenance duct in the ceiling and is on the second level of the command deck on the kind of little ledge up there where they keep the communications stuff. Kind of looking at them. So that's where we left off, and of course she has a niche. And so Keith won't be with us tonight, but Cameron, you're playing Keith.
Yep, I got his
Oh,
character sheet.
all right. So, before we get started, we'd like to thank a friend of the Greenwater Guildhall,
Oh,
Mongoose.
is he having sex with an Aslan female?
Maybe.
Or an Aslan male. Man,
All kinds of stuff could be going on.
it's 2023, you know. Before we get started, we'd like to thank a friend of the Greenwater Guildhall. None of these are sponsorships or partnerships of any kind. They are just products that we really like. Today, we would like to thank Fable Beard Company. Fable Beard Company makes wonderful beard products for uh, your beard care needs. They have oils, balms, butters, beard wash, beard conditioner, spray-on scents. They've got colognes, all manner of good things. And each of their scent profiles is a different fantasy character. Tonight I'm wearing the Hero Beard Balm, which smells of a light pipe tobacco and a light cologne scent. And something to do with warm amber, whatever that smells like. But I guess this is it. So, yeah, they have many different scents. I suggest checking them out. And for the women in your life, yep, there's a tin of the beard balm right now that Gregor is holding up. For the women in your life, there is FableBeauty.com, and they have all kinds of things for the ladies. In fact, since my wife isn't here, I can say it. I'm thinking about getting her something called body frosting. I was like, that sounds dubious. And I'm like, what's it taste like? Well, you're not supposed to lick it. It's not cake frosting. It's like a tub of skin moisturizer stuff. And it's
Kevin got me some. It's okay. It's like lotion, but the scent is really strong, so it's like kind of like perfume, you know? So
nice.
you can't go nuts with it, but like it smells really nice. So
Yeah,
that's what it is.
the one I just got an email for their Christmas scented one, so evidently she'll smell like vanilla Christmas cookies, and I'm like,
That'll be cool.
yeah,
Yeah,
okay,
that'll be
right.
great.
I'm okay with that. So yeah, you should check them out. They do have a buy one get one free. If you go to fablebeardco.com, your first time purchaser, create an account. You put 2 beard oils into your cart, and when you check out, you will get that second beard oil for free. We have a merch store, and there is some new stuff on the merch store via Zazzle. I just added this week, I added character hoodies for each of our characters from our Saturday Braunhaven game. So they are like black and white charcoal sketches of each character. And then on the back, it's got the Greenwater logo. And yeah, check those out. If you 100% of the proceeds from that store go directly back into our channel, which helps us cover all the nitpicky things like subscriptions and um, bandwidth costs and all of that. You know, it's funny because if you run as many online games as I do, you would be shocked at the at the amount of little subscriptions that it takes in order to get all of this stuff going. And it doesn't seem like a lot at the time until you've got 15 different subscriptions later, and each one's like, oh, it's $3 here, it's $7 there, it's $5 over here, and they just all kind of add up. So those proceeds from that store definitely help us, and so if you want to help us out, go get yourself one of those new hoodies and sport a character hoodie. The Mavis hoodie is really interesting because it is a black and white charcoal sketch, except for Mavis's lips. They're like a pink color, like the color of Ting's dice. It's kind of cool. And
Interesting.
yeah, that's the only picture that I did like that, and I don't know why I didn't do it with more. But anyways.
I like the ones that you did for my guys,
Yeah.
And if somebody fucks around and orders one of our hoodies for the character, then, we'll even feel worse when the character dies.
Yes, because we learned with Alora that death doesn't only come for those that are levels 1 through 3. It can, in our game, it can come at any point. This is not 5th edition D&D. This is the real shit.
Yanked. Yeah. We had to.
Did you have somebody die?
We had a character die, yeah. I had an onkeg come up out of the ground, and it spit acid on the witch, and she just went, melting, and she died. I did not expect the character to die, and Alora's like, okay, well, that's all my hit points, and so Alora's down, and I'm like, wait a minute, that was. She's like, yeah, it was exactly her number of hit points. I was like, oh shit. Oh, yeah.
Healing is not as easy in that game as 5e. It's not a long rest and you get everything back.
Yeah, I am being generous by so usually you get 1d3 hit points back for full 24 hours of rest, but I'm giving them a d3 hit points back for just an overnight rest, which they get to double because they have a witch with them. But, that game is brutal. If you want to join us, we play Saturdays at 12. So, yeah. And
it's a longer game, too.
Yeah, it's an hour longer. But, it's a fun game. So, yeah, if you want to help us out, go get yourself a hoodie, a t-shirt, a button. Anything helps.
Yep, you buy 100 of any one hoodie, and that character gets a free respawn after death.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
100. Sign them up. Give them to all your friends. There'll be like somebody with a lot of money that watches will order 100 and donate them to some crazy, like some Alaskan tribal thing, and
yes.
Yeah, and they'll name like their band after our character or something.
Right.
Yeah, we'll all.
Give me just a second.
We can either try and kill this thing, or we can trank it, or
we're gonna find out here in a second what's about to happen because it's first.
Or I've got a trank grenade, and I got a stunner, but I've also got guns.
Right. So if you remember, all of you guys, when you saw this female drop out of the maintenance shaft overhead, the immediate thing that you noticed is that you guys have some experience dealing with the full berserker, completely feral Aslan, and that's not exactly what you're seeing with her. She doesn't have that completely feral appearance. She does, however, seem quite out of sorts, and quite she is dirty, but obviously she's been crawling around through maintenance ducts, so she's going to be a little dirty, but she doesn't have that that wide-eyed fight or flight look in her eyes like the ferals do. And usually with feral Aslan, it's almost always fight. She, on the other hand, when she drops down, you do notice a couple of things. She is armed with an auto pistol in one hand. In the other hand, she has somebody's arm, like literally from like just above the elbow down to the hand. She's ready to give you a hand with everything. She'll clap her hands with it, and you know. But she is looking at you guys in a. You know, she has taken a defensive posture, and she hasn't raised the gun, but she is looking at you with, I guess, a inquisitive look, like she's not sure what to make of you. And so she's going to hold her action. Ting, what do you want to do?
Well, it's one of those things where you gotta.
Can you speak?
fucking
Can you
take
speak,
it.
Aslan?
Yeah, I can. I guess I'll step forward and I'll announce myself in Trog.
Okay. Make a persuasion plus charm check.
Much rather be social, but whatever. She probably ain't heard of me. No way. I got a 13. I'm gonna step forward and say, "Calm down. There's no reason for hostilities. We have come to investigate this laboratory. We are not your enemy."
So she does drop the arm, and she drops into kind of a combat stance with that hand on the ground. And she does have the pistol in her hand, but she raises it, but she's not pointing it at anybody. And she starts to respond to that, but it's like she can't make out the words. She is, and it's almost like she's so drunk and she's slurring her words so much that she has to concentrate, and she's like, and it just comes out as grunting.
Yeah.
She's infected with something.
Yeah, she needs to be disarmed and done up and have medical testing.
Gregor, what would you like to do?
Well, let's see.
I'm no longer hidden as
That's
I've stepped out, and I guess I'm stepped forward a little bit there.
Okay.
I'm a man of action tonight, so I pull a trank grenade and throw it at
Okay. So go ahead.
It's like, obviously she's been infected, but like the other female that we heard about, it hasn't made her totally feral, and I'm starting to wonder if the female have a better resistance to this than the male.
At least not yet.
We don't know how long she's been infected or anything.
No.
So go ahead and make either an athletics dexterity check, or you can make just a straight dex check.
9.
Okay. All right. So she. On here.
Tim's having fun.
She's not going to just stand there and take it. She is going to dive for cover.
Well, it's got a 9-meter blast radius. It's not like she can get away.
It doesn't matter if she's in the blast radius. everybody that breathes that shit has to make save or
Right. So she dives behind a comm console, and this grenade practically lands right where she was sitting and goes poof, and that whole second level it becomes a smoky haze from the dispersal of the trank gas, and she, well, first of all, she comes up over. What does this say? It's okay. She comes up over the console and is going to open fire. There are 4 of you.
She's got an auto pistol, and she's going to fire at us in battle suits.
Yeah, well, I mean, she's not entirely with it, but she's going to fire on Beth. Where is there it is.
it's gonna make some scratches on your armor.
Yeah. Rude.
We'll have to buff it out later.
Well, she misses, and then so she fires off this pistol, and then she has to make what, an endurance check?
That's right, difficulty 10.
Okay, so her endurance is her a +3. No, and then she takes a big deep breath and she goes night night.
Good. Now,
Okay.
what about the one still in the ducts?
Well, this was the one that was in the ducts.
I thought there was another one behind her.
No, it was just one, and she dropped down. If another one shows up, it has not been detected yet. That's my understanding.
Right. So hold on here. It says 1d3 rounds. So she is going to be unconscious. Oh wait, no. Okay. So she can essentially, I mean, there's really no point to it. We are out of combat. So she takes a nice big deep breath and promptly goes to sleep. And thump hits the floor of the comm deck.
Disarm her, tie her up.
Yeah, we're gonna have to probably stick her in a low berth somewhere.
So so what you do know, and if you remember, you guys did get a schematic layout of this facility. You know that there, over some of these doors did require a key card. You guys were able to unlock all the gray doors. Red doors have to be manually opened. But you do know that there are laboratories up here, and there is something called a containment facility, and then there is something called an isolation laboratory with a number of containment cells.
I want to bring the hand with me.
Okay.
If there's biometric,
if
there's biometric locks,
okay.
the hand might be key to open it. And so,
yeah, let's hang on.
Yeah, I'm not just being a disgusting thing. I actually have a reason, but yeah, I'll take the hand with me.
Does the containment facility have low berths or something? Probably it has to. We don't know. Okay, this is a little bit of a guessing game.
Well, I mean, you are in the command center. You could, whoever wants to search can make a electronics computer plus education or intellect check.
All right. Electronics computer 1.
I'm +1.
Okay.
Electronics, computer, intellect, you said?
He's got 10.
Oh, all right.
I got a 13.
Okay.
Ooh.
So you find out. Let's see here. It says. This is a lot of shit. So basically, it has the laboratories and the containment facility listed kind of as one unit, even though you know that they are not. And it says that the main laboratory area contains several well-equipped biochemical laboratories. So each one of these, it's funny that the way they design this map, because if you've ever seen The Rock, all you got to do is paint these green and they look like the nerve gas canisters. But it says that each one of those is a biochemical laboratory, and they're all fitted with decontamination equipment, and the doors leading into the laboratories themselves are airlocks. There is a secure storage area that contains numerous containers for chemicals, including cylinders for gas. There are, let's see, there are... So there is this two-story containment facility that is used to contain experimental subjects. Right now, it is listed as having a variety of animals and birds that are caged in that area, and it lists them. It lists them as unhealthy, and then says for further information, see the doctor's logs in the laboratory and containment facilities.
Well, we need to take all those logs and shit with us. I mean, that's evidence, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And these hard drives would be evidence. We need to at least do that.
So Ting, you, and I don't remember if we already, I don't think we got this. You find that there is data on the Dawn Seeker.
Ooh.
What data?
Yeah, that's a great question.
So, it says that Dawn Seeker is currently en route to Sagan. So that much you already knew. It is carrying 12 cylinders called Agent Sindal for what is described as a final field test. The target population is not confirmed. It is simply noted as any suitable Ihati enclave, ideally of over 1,000 inhabitants.
Whoa.
It goes on to confirm that the target is not a single enclave. Instead, a variety of methods are to be used at different locations in order to evaluate their effectiveness. The first version is wide dispersion. At the first target location, Dawnseeker's crew will deliver Agent Sindal into the local ecosystem on a general basis, with the intent that the communities will become infected as a result of local animals being hunted or kept for food. The second method is water dispersion. At the second target location, Dawnseeker's crew will introduce Agent Sindal into the local water table with the intent of infecting the population directly through contact with water, and on a secondary basis when local animals drink that water and are then consumed. And the third method is direct infection. One target location will be chosen for a more direct approach. This is nothing short of dropping canisters of Agent Sindal directly into the target area, creating a cloud of the agent, which will infect targets directly. This is a new version of the agent, hoped to be its final weaponized form. It is hoped that rather than being immediately toxic like previous versions, this agent will enter the body by way of respiratory contact or eating food that has been contaminated. Confidence in this version of the agent is high. So there's that.
All right. Well,
Okay.
So, I remember last time I had the idea of like snitching, basically. I'm not sure that's a bad idea, considering that's really bad. I just don't know if we'll get there in time. That's all.
I think what we need to do here is to get the hard drives collect all the evidence, and then I think we ought to set this place as a fucking booby trap. To where if anybody comes in and tries to use any of their credentials to gain access to the place, that the place fucking goes fucking critical. I mean, it's got a power plant. If we make the power plant go critical due to a set pre-construction ideas based on people using the airlocks to enter the place, it ought to kill whoever comes in and destroy all the chemicals and everything in the process.
So we
I
need to
like
look
my
at the
favorite solution.
So what you can learn in command about, I mean, there's no, self-destruct, but what you do know is that the power and life support contains sealed equipment, water recycling, air scrubbing, and the installation's main fusion reactor.
That
So,
right there is self-destruct.
if you understand about fusion reactors, they don't go kablooey like a fission. They don't go Chernobyl. In a lot of ways, it's almost scarier in the amount of devastation that a fusion reactor can do if it loses containment. Because instead, it just vents that plasma out and around it. And so, essentially, it's going to pretty much melt everything at the temperature of the sun around it. So it would, if you were to essentially turn off the safeguards and overload that reactor, that would happen, and this whole facility would be melted into slag.
But I want to do it. I'd like to set it up in such a way that somebody, much like we did, old boy, on the space station. You come home that way. If we miss the Dawn Seeker and they come here to report in, they get fucking fried.
I want to take a look at the doctor's logs when I get a chance, because they might have some information about something that could be done as a countermeasure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it states in the command center that the logs are all individual to the laboratory and containment facility.
Okay, so you guys locked and loaded, and we'll head over.
Sure will. We would like to. Can we turn power life support off from here?
Yeah.
Go and do that.
Okay. So yeah, you can turn on you turn off life support. Go ahead and make the engineering. I guess. Yeah. Well, that would be an engineering life support plus intellect or education check.
Maybe I ought to try this a different way and go, hey, can one of you guys turn off the life support?
I got a 10.
There you go. Okay, so yeah, you turn off life support. Now that's not a quick situation, because there's still the air that got pumped into the atmosphere in here. So it will take, I mean, this isn't exactly a small facility. It will take some time for that to start to have detrimental effects on anybody that's living in here.
But it should. Anybody that's sane would realize that the air conditioner just turned off and it's starting to get hot.
Yeah, it would start to get stuffy. Probably, like I said, not immediately.
Maybe that was done thing too, but that's what I think is fun. Turn off life support, puts pressure on whoever's here.
So you've tied up the female Aslan. What are you taking her with you? What are you doing?
I think so. I think we're trying to find a place to stow her.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but until then, she's got to come with us, so we'll just drag her along by her feet.
Okay.
And if she wakes up and kicks, we'll put her back down. I'm sure Captain Beth can give her something medically to make sure she's asleep.
I'll give Captain Beth my stunner.
That's true.
Well, I mean, she's got what, TL 14, 15 level med kits.
Yeah.
There's got to be extreme sedatives in there for performing minor surgeries and shit to put people under.
Oh, certainly.
I mean, yeah. So I mean, I gotta think that wouldn't be hard to just
Yeah,
say, you know,
she's already unconscious, so she doesn't even really get a roll. If you
uh,
dose her, she's not going to fight it.
All right, to the laboratories.
Okay, so you guys dose her. You're heading up this main shaft here.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So you guys get into the laboratories, and in this,
How do we get in the door?
I got a key card,
yeah,
right?
she's got a key card. Actually, I think you guys should have been able to all get key cards when you went through the living quarters.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be okay for a second, but yeah, I'm right there with everybody.
Okay.
I'm a valid target.
So this appears to be like the main laboratory, and then there is a sign on the wall. Sign. It's just kind of, if you've ever been in a government facility where they just put a stencil up and spray paint, and it's like, you know, it just says research, and it's leading off in this direction. But in this main section, you see a couple of things. The first thing that you see, where is it? You see that there was a secure storage area here that has a number of containers for like gas cylinders, and you see that there are several gaps on the racks, suggesting that containers have been removed. The other thing that you see... Hold on here.
Thank you. Sorry.
So immediately when you get in here, so you notice that there's this storage locker, and there are several blank spots where gas canisters have been removed. But immediately upon that, you also see that this main lab area is the obvious site of some kind of battle. In addition to the ransacking of experimental subject cages, you see that you don't see any human bodies, but there are blood splashes and bullet holes throughout the area. What would you like to do?
Let's see here.
I mean,
So there's labs to the left, and there's one lab to the right.
yeah, the isolation laboratory looks to be the closest.
Yeah, and
this room here is the main lab, and then these labs are labeled as research laboratories.
Are there more records and computers here in this main?
Yes, and a couple of the computer screens have bullet holes
in them. Well, you know, the hard drives are mostly what I'm interested in.
I want to look at doctor's notes.
They're all using Macs.
Fucking with you. I mean, you get it. I mean, if we can try to access it here, or we can just take the whole hard drive with us and access it on our own time while we're doing junk space.
Look, it uses Netscape.
We can do a little combination of both, I guess. I guess I'm going to use the computer thing to see if I can come up with any information real quick.
Okay.
You know. So
let me know if you come across anything medical. I'll read it.
Right. Well, I mean, I got a 9.
So you do note that each of these research laboratories each have a locker that lists that each one of these laboratories holds 4 hazmat suits, and it shows the computer is listing that there are a number of chemical canisters, which you can visually see, missing from the rack. But not all of these are Agent Sindal. It is listing that some of these are various uh, poisons and contaminants. And to describe what they do, they have a difficulty 10 plus endurance check, and they deal 1d damage every 6d minutes.
I don't, I don't want to play with them.
And it is listing, the computer's listing that these containers have been removed from the site. They are not here anymore.
All right. Well, we're gonna set this place to go Nova or
So
Plasma.
So,
So
Beth, looking down this hallway, you see that the doors to the isolation laboratory are open. The sliding glass or the sliding doors are permanently open.
Okay, I want to peek around this corner quickly.
Okay.
while she's doing that, I will begin unhooking the hard drives and shit like that. If she calls out and says she needs help, I'll run down that way. But I can watch the Aslan Sleeping Beauty and take the hard drives out of these laboratory computers.
Okay. So these you do see. I mean, and so Gregor, as Ting is, pulling hard drives and taking data. You see that this blood splatter does seem to go to the research laboratories, but that door is closed.
Is there a window in this door?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to look through the window and see what's on the other side.
So you see that on the floor there's clearly a trail of blood, and there is blood smear on the northern wall going to this door.
Well, I ain't going to open at that door while everybody else is doing something else.
Well, I mean, you're wearing a battle dress.
I think we're spread far enough apart right now.
Yeah, but I mean, we are really over equipped for this play. I wouldn't worry about it. I mean,
You're basically walking around in a tank.
Okay, I open the door and I go into here.
Yeah. Don't be such a varger, man. Get in there.
Yes, sir. Right away, sir.
What is
what are you smoking tonight?
Go ahead.
Me or him? I'm smoking chocolate mint.
Oh,
I'm smoking a fine medicinal blend
Herb.
called cotton candy.
Just crack over here,
Crack. Just
Yeah.
crack.
refreshing.
the sweet eyebrow captain lady.
It's organic.
Lower
It's
to
all
the
right.
pirates is smoking crack.
She doesn't do cocaine, but she does like the smell.
What is Keith doing?
He's probably helping unhook the computers. That's
Okay.
my guess.
Okay, so he's up here helping out with the computers.
We're probably looking at each other and whispering, going, "Man, we got to set this place on fire."
Right?
Yeah, it needs to go down.
Well, Keith and I have those conversations pretty regularly.
That's true. Yeah. Let's see. This guy.
Remember those helicopters? Oh, we fucked them up. Yeah, that was great. They didn't even know we were going to do it. We just caught our own guys on surprise. It's great.
So. Yep.
Cotton candy, huh?
So, Gregor, you follow this blood smear to this closed door, and you can hear from down the hallway the containment facility door is open, and from down this hallway you can hear the squawks of birds, and it sounds like there might be a goat in there, and but the animals they're all making noise. Like, they are riled up, but probably not as much noise as you might expect because they sound sick.
I think we need to turn them into charcoal before the stuff spreads.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
would stay right there and go, "Hey, Eric," over the intercom, over the. I guess we have suit intercoms, don't we?
Yeah, I got
you
some.
probably have external speakers.
Well,
So that there appear to be still live subject animals in the containment facility. They don't sound too happy.
well, we've turned off live support. That problem will solve itself in a matter of days.
Yeah, I
This is
mean, there's probably in here in a facility this size, there's probably another 24 hours worth of air, but this airlock is open. Some of these smaller laboratories, because the airlocks are closed and they are airlocks, with the life support turned off, these research laboratories, they're not. Anybody in those laboratories aren't going to last very long. Probably, I don't know, a good 7 hours, and they'll be out of air and they'll start going hypoxic.
This
All
place,
right.
we're
Did
going
I?
to fit the power reactor before then, probably.
So did I see anything when I peeked around the corner?
Yeah, I'm gonna get to you in just a
Oh,
second.
okay. Sorry.
So Gregor, you're just yelling out. What are you yelling out? Or are you just using communications with the rest of the party?
I'm just using communications.
Okay.
I just said, I hear noises. This appears to be unhappy animals in the containment facility.
Okay.
There's still a blood trail.
Okay.
Do we
So
want a blood sample?
yeah. So he wants to know if you want a blood sample, Beth.
Of the animals?
No, the blood on the wall and the floors.
Maybe. I'm, a little focused on this
These,
thing over here.
yeah,
I'm.
yeah.
You can collect
This
it
is
and
looking
then.
like a setup. You know,
I don't
it was
know.
the ship that we took over. That we've sent on. That we we jumped into it, and there was the Aslan.
Principal profiteer.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
that's it.
That too. I mean, it's like these Aslan, that have been infected. They just seems you don't just get out and go start killing entire crews unless somebody let you out in these situations, man. And so
There is a story about that.
Well,
yeah,
what could have happened is they could have come and got the containers and then headed to Sagan to, distribute the disease. And then after they left, some things got out and started killing people that worked in the lab. That's a possibility of what happened here.
okay.
It's like the chronological order of what
Right.
happened matters.
Well, they sure wake up pissed. I guess you've got somebody you're about to deal with, but we're not far, and you're
Yeah,
in battle dress, so yeah.
I'll probably be fine.
So a couple of things. And so Beth, you poke your head around the corner, and in here, chowing down on the guts of, I mean, literally he's got both hands and he's ripping out intestines from some lab technician. Well, maybe not a lab technician, but somebody that was working here. They're wearing the overalls. He's got a fistful of entrails and he's chewing down on it. And you poke your head around. You can go ahead and make a stealth plus dexterity check if you're trying to be stealthy, or if you want, you can just boldly go.
I was trying to be stealthy and got a 9.
Okay, so you are able to kind of poke your head in there, and you look, and he's going to town, has not noticed you yet. Gregor, um, what are you doing?
I haven't heard anything from Beth yet about this Aslan.
No, you haven't.
So can I see in here?
It is an airlock. So the window is maybe 1 foot by 1 foot, and it's hard to see anything beyond. But looking inside, you can see that in this small airlock, there the blood trail continues on the floor.
I open the other airlock door.
Okay. So in here, you see that leaning up against, well, you see two bodies in here. The first body is that of a female technician who's been pretty much shredded. She's been ripped apart. The other body is that
She
of.
missing an arm?
I'm sorry, what was that?
Is she missing an arm?
She is. She is missing an arm. The other body is a dead chirper, and around this chirper's neck is another one of these equipment pouches. And written on this equipment pouch, it says Nikki 2. If you remember, the first one was named Nikki. This one is Nikki 2.
Are they all Nikki?
Probably. Probably another one somewhere called Nikki also. And maybe Nikki.
Nikki again.
But
Nikki 15. Can they count that high?
roll a recon plus intellect check, Gregor.
Oh, this is not good. 3. I don't notice anything.
You do not notice anything. So, Beth, what would you like to do? Ting and, well, before we get to that, Ting and Keith can both make computer plus intellect or education checks.
See how much.
I got a 14, boss.
Yeah, you're doing just fine.
Eight.
Okay. So my question to Ting is, are you and Keith manually taking the hard drives themselves, or are you copying them to your mobile computer?
Manually taking the hard drives themselves.
Okay.
We're snatching them. I mean, we're trying to safely remove them. So.
Yep. And so you guys are doing a pretty good job. You're about halfway through of pulling these There's a lot of hard drives, but you're about halfway through, and you're stuffing them into a equipment bag that says Nikki 2 or Nikki also. Nikki 3. Beth, what are you doing with this male Aslan? And this one, Beth, you immediately know. I mean, this one looks completely feral. Like its hair's sticking out in all ends. It's matted. He's gone completely, and by the fact that he's tearing the guts out of this technician, you know that he's all the way gone.
So I'm going to look at the wall next to the door and see if there's a way to close it without having to fuck with this one.
Make a recon plus intellect check.
Okay. 7.
Okay. So the first thing that you immediately notice is that the door has been the inside door panel for this airlock has been taken apart, and somebody has jury rigged it. Like wires have been cut and spliced together just by twisting them, and it looks like this door has been manually. I was going to say hacked, but it has been jury rigged.
Okay.
It doesn't look like this door, in its current condition, will close. And both of the doors are open for this airlock. The other thing that you notice is that these containment cells here, are all 4 of them. In each one of these containment cells is a low berth. and all
Mm.
of those low birds are open.
Oh, great. Good news.
See, that's that same shit that makes me think sabotage is
It could
inside
be, man.
sabotage. Yeah, let the creatures out of the low berth, and they just nature takes its course. They die.
Does
They're,
that take up my whole turn if
No,
I mean, I looked at the door and went, nah, fuck it.
yeah, you can do whatever you'd like.
I think
You
I
have
might
surprise on your side.
shoot
Throwing
him in
a
the head.
plasma grenade.
I could
I
use a minor
prefer
action to
nukes.
aim,
When in
right?
doubt, send a gift that's really big, a nuke.
Yes.
Okay.
If you notice, I like nukes. Once upon a time in my life, I actually trained people how to drop things out of the belly of a big airplane.
Nice.
Yeah.
this is this is way better than dropping an M80 down the school's toilet.
Yes, that's right. Yes, 9 megatons of nothing but pure love.
Right.
So, can I use a minor action to aim and then try and shoot him?
Yeah.
Okay.
What are you shooting him with?
Let me see here. I have advanced combat rifle and heavy laser pistol, but I think laser pistol uses energy rather
does.
than.
Correct.
Okay, I don't think I have anything in that. I just have gun combat.
So it would just be 0 for your skill.
Oh, well, that's not too bad.
Yeah,
Since
it would be gun combat of 0 plus your dexterity modifier.
Okay, and then I can aim, so that'll
Right.
give me a
So
little
that'd
more.
be a +1.
All right. I'm gonna use the heavy laser pistol then. I get 8.
That is a hit. No bonus damage, but it does hit him.
Okay, let's see what we get. A lot of burnt fur, I'm sure.
Something tickled.
2, 6, 9, 13.
Ouch. Hold on here. As I have to itch my eye suddenly. He has no armor. You got 13 points of damage. Okay. He does not go down, but
Shit.
you peg him with this laser, and yeah, this laser scorches across his shoulder and chest because he's down, so it kind of just goes this way, and his fur, lights up, catches fire. There's the whole area smells like burning fur, and he is rather upset about that. Hold on here.
Start rolling initiative, I guess.
Yeah, everybody can roll initiative.
12.
That's wrong. Gregor, you got a 12?
Yes.
Yeah. Ting and Key. Well, Ting, you can roll a recon plus intellect check.
Nine.
Okay. So, Ting, you hear the sound of a laser or a heavy laser pistol go off down this hall.
Okay. I'm gonna. What I can move 6 meters.
Well, tell me where you want to move, and I can figure out because the metric on this isn't quite right.
I want to move as far as I can towards Beth
Okay.
without using my major action.
Okay. So that will put you right about there.
Okay. And then I want to I want to throw a trank grenade right down there at Beth's feet.
Okay. Go ahead and make a athletics dexterity check or just a raw dex check.
So that's a 9.
Okay, so this so Beth, you see this grenade go tink 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 and land right in front of you, right in front of this door.
Good work, team.
And it goes psh, and starts spraying out.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, my thought process is when you hit him, he loses endurance first, so it'd be harder for him to make that save because you've already nailed his ass.
Well, the edge of that trank gas is going to be. He's almost right at the edge of where that trank gas is going to come out. So, he may
He'll
not.
go right for it.
But at the same time, he's also completely feral. So
we'll see how it works out.
Yeah, he's probably going to run to attack the nearest threat. So
I mean, he's going to run into the trank gas.
Right, which means he'll run right into the trank gas. Gregor, what are you doing?
I'm moving as far as I can towards her.
Okay, so
It's like here.
Yeah, that puts you about there. Make a recon plus intellect check.
Nine.
Okay, so you see, as you are running, kind of your rear, you have like a little window that pops up showing you things that are going on around you. You see the carcass of a large, like turkey-like pheasant bird get thrown out of this open door and slam against this door and come bounding out is another feral Aslan.
Oh, I got a door between me. Not to worry. So the door was open and he was in there munching on turkey.
Yes.
Just in time for Thanksgiving.
Well, that means the cartridge-based laser carbine is going to be used.
Okay. You can do that.
I can't. There's a door in the way.
Let's hope it.
Well, I mean, did you shut the door? I mean, you ran through it as you saw this happen behind you.
I thought they close automatic.
They're airlocks, so probably not automatic.
Then I'll fire.
Okay.
But how far is that?
I would say
30 meters?
That's probably about 30 meters, yeah.
Well, that's within range of a carbine.
I would think so, yeah.
Plus, Keith is right there, too.
That's true.
And I get an 8.
That hits.
And it's 4D.
Yeah.
$18.
Wow.
I like this puppy. 4D, yeah, it's just like a shotgun, but it shoots further.
So,
and I don't even need a battery pack because it's cartridge based.
Right, yeah, which makes it automatically a more pleasant shooting experience. So you fire your cartridge laser carbine down the hall, and you light him up pretty good. Again, his fur catches fire, and he immediately lets out a berserker battle roar and turns like he's going to run towards you. What does Keith want to do, Mr. Chameleon Suit Keith?
He'll probably... Okay, so Ting and Beth have that under control. He'll probably turn around and take a shot at that Aslan down the hall.
Okay.
Possible. So, okay.
Keith uses that laser rifle, don't he?
Yeah, it's pretty nice. 5D plus 3. Holy shit. Okay, let's hope I hit. Wow, 13. That's awesome.
Yeah, so that is a +5 to damage.
Holy crap.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's going to be a bad day for this guy.
His hair catches fire again.
Yes, might stay on fire this time.
It's like 23. It's a lot.
23? Holy
I
shit.
think so. It said 5d plus 3, right?
Am I
Am I right?
For a laser rifle, probably. Let's see here.
He's pretty accurate with the stuff he writes.
Yeah,
Plus
Yeah.
8.
Yeah, TL11, 5D plus 3 plus 5.
Yeah. So
Yeah, okay. So this guy,
I think he's dead.
probably.
Crispy critter.
He got what he came for.
Yeah. So Keith hits this guy, and he burns a hole clear through him, right through his chest. And this Aslan goes down. But out of that same room, there is a second one in there. So that is all 4 of these containment cells.
all right.
The female and 3 males.
Yeah. That accounts for everybody.
Beth, what would you like to do?
Take another shot.
Okay.
I think this one might be yeah, 7. I think that misses.
So that does miss.
Yeah. Whoops.
Aslan boy is going to. That's not good for him. Maybe not. No, that's not good for him. He runs directly for Beth. He gets to about the door, and of course, because he's in an excited state, he's huffing and puffing right through the gas cloud. And as he gets to the door, he is slowing down considerably and just keels over and falls asleep. He gets sleepy face. So he is down. This Aslan comes running out here. He gets to about here. And he stops and reaches down and grabs a chunk of lit up meat off of his compatriot and stuffs it in his mouth. King, what would you like to do?
Oh, do I see that guy is down?
Yeah, you can see him sprawled out of the airlock. He just and falls.
I don't know if there's anybody in there or not, even though that, I mean, I understand the math is everything, but I've heard people shooting behind me, and Captain Beth is there engaged. I'm going to go ahead. Can I move up next to Captain Beth and look in the room?
Yes.
Then that's what I'll do.
So, yeah, all 3 of your movement will get you... Actually, it'll get you into the room if you want.
Yeah, I need to go in and look around the room real quick.
Make a recon plus intellect check.
I'm going to add a +1 because I'm using my eyes. 7. Yeah.
Yeah, no. You see the same thing that Beth saw, that that this technician laying on the ground. You do notice one other thing because you're further into the room. So this technician that he was chewing on, you see that that there is still around his neck on a lanyard is a different kind of security card. It is an engineer's security card.
Oh, well, that needs to be collected in order to get into the power and life support section that we'll need to get to in order to make this place go bye-bye.
Yes, yes,
So,
that is a
yeah.
good bet.
Yeah, so there we go.
Gregor.
I move to there and I fire.
Go for it.
Nine.
That's a +1 to damage.
$19.
Jesus. Okay.
See, that's got to clear his endurance out, man.
So, yeah, you pull the trigger. There's a loud snap as this laser goes off, and Aslan's fur catches fire. It looks like the beam hits him in the shoulder and goes all the way through, and kind of burns a spot on this back wall back here. And he takes it, and he keeps coming. Keith, what would you like to do?
How wide is the hallway? Can I like push past Gregor to shoot also? I don't want to shoot him.
These hallways are about 6 meters wide.
Okay. I'll go ahead and try and shoot you. Wow.
Or not 6 meters. I'm sorry. I'm converting feet to meters. They're about 5 feet wide. So, 1.5 meters.
Right.
There's still plenty of room to stand side by side.
Yeah, even in battle dress.
I rolled a 14 to hit.
Whew.
I know.
You might as well put an X on that
Live
now.
Okay. So first, before you even roll damage,
I could roll 5 ones. It's possible.
before you roll damage,
5 plus 9. 5D plus 9.
roll 1d.
4.
Okay. And roll 2d.
Box card.
Okay. Go ahead and roll damage.
5D plus 9. It's got to be like 52.
15, 18, 19, plus 3 is 22.
22. Okay. So, Keith, once again, he pulls the trigger, you hear a snap, and like right up through this Aslan's forehead, from crotch through his forehead, just about cuts this Aslan completely in half with a laser beam. And
Yeah.
he is down and out,
Excellent.
and this Aslan is effectively unconscious. We are out of combat.
All right, let's load the unconscious Aslans into their rovers to get rid of them permanently, or long enough, long term.
Yeah. This first containment here.
Okay.
And then this one, we're just going to throw those Aslan in there and seal them up, turn them on.
Okay, so you're putting the male and female in there?
Yeah.
Okay, so you put them in, activate the low birth, start the freezing process, and they are contained.
Cool. We need to continue on with the stripping of the.
I want to look in the labs about stuff about like drugs or like treatments or what if you can do anything about this.
Okay.
disease.
So go ahead and make an investigate plus intellect check.
I got 12.
Okay. So, so what were you looking for specifically?
If there's any kind of treatments or preventions or anything for this disease.
No. In fact, you find a couple of things. So you find logs in these laboratories, but I mean, you don't find anything. It's what you don't find that is kind of a triggering for you. Is that there has been absolutely zero research done on a counter agent.
All right, shit. Okay, it was worth it. Worth a look.
All right.
So, but you do find a video log, essentially, of what happened in the isolation laboratory. It appears that this technician that is laying in this research lab with missing an arm, when the Dawn Seeker crew dropped off these four lowbirds, she went in and was taking the female out of her containment and was going to take her over to the research laboratories to begin testing on her. And before she could inject her with a sedative, the female Aslan, who had already been infected, got the better of her, ripped her arm off, and she fled out of here through the laboratory into this research laboratory in an attempt to hide, shutting the door behind her. The female Aslan in the isolation laboratory had enough of her faculties with her to then open the other three lowbirds, letting out the males.
Wow.
Well, that's how it happened.
Yeah.
We
All
still
right.
need to collect all the hard drives, all the logs, and
We got 2 more labs and a containment facility to look through.
yeah.
Or wait, 3 more labs. Goodness.
Okay.
Am I finding more of the same?
Yeah, more
Probably.
of the same. You guys, it takes you probably, let's see here, it takes you another, since you're just pulling hard drives, it takes you about another 4 hours of shutting down computers, safely pulling the hard drives to maintain the data on them. You get all of the, you've now got like 2 of these bags, equipment bags that are full of basically memory crystals from these laboratory computers. According to your maps, this airlock leads to power and life support. There is a central airlock in this shaft that cannot be opened unless you have the engineer's card.
Oh yeah. I mean, we can send Keith and Gregor down there. We can get the loading bot from the entryway in a big crate and put all the hard drives and shit in a crate.
Yeah, they're not really hard drives. They are literally about the size and thickness of a credit card. They're just memory crystal.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm
Cool.
talking about there's other types of evidence such as the different chemicals and all that. I mean, we're just
You're grabbing
I'm thinking
everything.
making a nice care package, putting it in a big old crate, and then using one of those loaders to pick that motherfucker up and take it to the Dragonfly.
Okay. Okay. So you are taking that stuff to the Dragonflyer, and you're sending Keith Keith and Gregor down to the power.
They're the engineers,
Yeah.
and then Beth is picking out what the fuck she wants as far as the laboratory stuff.
Yeah, are there like samples or anything I should take,
Yeah.
or just records?
Shit. Yeah. If you're gonna do research to try to find a cure, you know what you want to grab more than I do as far as there's probably pure specimens and shit of the agent.
Yeah. You, in fact, so Beth, I will get to Keith and Gregor in just a moment, but Beth, you can make a crap. broad skills here. Broad skills and specialities. Yeah, make a life sciences plus intellect or education check.
14. I did great.
Nice. So you not only do you find samples of Agent Sindal, the current agent, you find samples of the previous of two previous versions.
Gotcha.
They've been at this a while.
Yes, they
Yeah,
have.
for real.
And according to the notes, the first version of the agent, when it was released, in a lot of cases, caused almost immediate death. And those that survived over time would then kind of morph into this feral version. And it had a much greater effect on, like, there was no survival rate for birds in the area. It specifically noted that for some reason this specifically is killing birds. And then the second version, it showed that the birds had a slightly higher survival rate, about equal to the Aslan that were infected. So there were still a lot of cases where the Aslan were killed almost immediately, but the percentage was much lower. And then this third version in testing showed basically they're calling it the weaponized, or hopefully to be the weaponized version, and that this version doesn't kill the birds. The birds do get sick from it, but the Aslan tend to be able to metabolize it without dying, and then slowly they go through a progression where they start to lose their faculties over a period of like 3 days, and then by the 4th day they revert to a completely feral state.
This stuff is nasty.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fucked up shit.
VX or
So do you guys think we should snitch or should we try and stop the ship on our own?
I'm sorry,
What?
what was that?
I said, do you think we should snitch or do you think we should try and stop the ship on our own? Like, what's faster?
I think we should do a combination of both. We should snitch on what we found and what's going on, and then stop it with fighting off the Dawn Seeker, and then getting credit for what we've done.
Hopefully. Or calling a favor later or something.
Yeah.
If we pull it off.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to do both, you can snitch as you are leaving the planet and send them a data packet.
I would like to do that, yes. Whoever gets to it first. Like, I don't really care who shoots the ship down as long as somebody does it.
And,
Yeah.
I mean, like you said, which would be faster? It would be faster if you went. Because, of course, whoever you tell here on Tic Tac, the local government is unlikely to send a ship to Sagan. If they do get the chance to tell, an Imperial ship that comes through, the Imperials, they may not really care too much. I mean, it depends on what captain you get at any given time, but a lot of the Imperials don't have a particularly nice outlook towards the Aslan.
But wouldn't they, see, to me, it makes me think they would care more because, like, they're not super fond of Aslan, and now there's this germ going around that makes them go apeshit and start eating people.
True, but
I don't know.
But at the same time, this isn't Imperial space. I mean,
Okay,
the press subsector does have a research facility in it, but and they do have a naval base, not here though. So I mean, what's happening on Tic Tac or even Sagan, I doubt that they would give a shit.
Yeah, I do think we should tell them what we're doing so that way they're aware, because we get brownie points for that shit. It makes us seem like we're not the monsters that they try to paint us.
It makes you seem a lot more altruistic.
Yeah. So I mean,
okay, might as well then, and hopefully
Yeah.
somebody helps, but probably they won't. Got it.
But then we go there and eradicate the threat, and then send another data packet saying that we've eradicated the threat. and we have evidence, and we'll know how to make this agent in case we want to unleash it on the glorious empire fucks that are fucking blockading Drinax. So I mean, there's a
Good.
lot
I
of
guess
stuff.
that's
Interesting
true.
idea.
I don't know. That's bad news, but
Put it in the
also,
airlocks. Put it in the air for the cruisers.
Well,
wow,
Anyway,
that's super
should we
evil.
notify? Should we put a data packet to the news or to the local medical?
Oh, you could do both. You could send a data packet to the Traveler News Agency.
You guys, if we take out the Dawn Seeker and then we use the agent on the Glorious Empire mercenaries, like no one would suspect us.
that's what I'm
Oh
thinking.
shit! so Captain Beth is contemplating going full genocide on the Glorious Empire.
Just on
No.
those ships, not it won't ever escape, right? If,
Well,
if we can find a less evil plan, I'm down with that too.
that is definitely a problem for after we get all our kingdom back.
Yeah,
You know?
that's true.
We can use the shit and make it look like it was an accident that she infected the Aslan she had hired, but we can tie that all into the Empress as we dethrone her punk ass.
Hopefully.
Yeah,
Okay.
we can. I mean, we're good at lying. I mean, yeah, that's because we're honorable.
So Gregor and Keith get into life support, or get into power and life support. And there is a fusion reactor in here. There is a number of consoles. Things like turning the lights on or off, or turning the heat up or down, or even turning on or off life support is simple to do, but you would have to have the password in order to overload the reactor. And the password's not written down anywhere, of course. But either Gregor or Keith, if you wanted to, you could try to hack into the computer. It is a difficult 12 plus electronics computers plus intellect or education check.
I know I've offered everybody my intrusion software.
Oh yeah, there's copies of your shit floating around all over the place. So
yeah,
what is
so
the bonus for your intrusion software?
2.
So that's another +2 on that roll.
Give it a shot, Gregor.
Well, I'll give it a try.
I mean, if you need me to come and do a
Well,
roll,
looky there.
I got exactly. So
Amazing.
Gregor is able to hack into the fusion reactor's computer in about 2 minutes using the Ting's intrusion software, and you get in and what do you want to do with the fusion reactor? I mean, what are your guys' plans here? Are you just going to say fuck it and overload it, or?
Yeah.
Can we put it up on a time delay?
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I mean, you could set it so that
we want enough time to get in our ship and be flying away when it goes, but we don't want it. I mean, God, if some kids
it's not going to be an immediate thing. So if you set this, if you turn off all the safeguards and you set this for a thermal overload, it's probably not going to breach containment for about 5 hours.
I'll just go ahead and do that if you guys don't mind.
I don't mind at all. When you're asking or saying that you're going to do that, I'm going to go ahead and radio ahead to the Osiris crews and tell them to prepare for departure. Leave is now officially over.
Well, I mean, it's not going to burn up the entire planet. It'll burn up, about this facility and probably about 2 kilometers around.
Oh, I hear you, but I mean, we're planning on going and trying to get there as soon as possible. And so with that, I'll be sending out the word,
Gotcha.
Yeah, it's time to put it back in your pants and zip up and get ready to head out, whatever.
Okay, so Gregor, go ahead and make a engineering power plus intellect or education check.
5.
So, yeah, you have
Keith can try that.
Yeah, Keith can go ahead and make a try.
He's good at that shit too.
Is it computers plus intellect? Is that right?
No, it's engineering power plus intellect or education.
Engineering power. Oh wow. Okay.
53.
It's 13. You did great.
Okay. So yeah, Gregor looks at this and he's like, this switch? And Keith comes over and he's like, no, we'll just do this and turn this off. And so, yeah, there immediately the screens all start to flash a warning saying that safeguards have been disabled. Thermal overload starting. ETA 5 hours to containment breach.
That's beautiful shit.
And Keith gets on the radio and says 5 hours till this place goes.
Well, everybody can hear it because the computer voice is coming over. Like the problem of the oh shit kind down in power life support.
Did Barth the flying droid from Beacon 23 start complaining?
I just started watching that last night. Yeah.
So did I.
Bart's got some issues. Bart's a little fucked up.
Yeah, well, you would be too if you had your software 100 years out of date.
Right. Yeah. He's been denied Windows updates for like 100 years. I the part about that didn't gel with me is his excuse that I think we were hacked, and I'm like, hacked by who? You're out in the middle of nowhere. You're supposed to be the only person on this thing. Who exactly hacked you? Yeah, and the other thing that bothers me about that, so she makes the comment. She says we used to be able back in the old days we used to be able to send data at the speed of light. She says, but now we've resorted to sending data ships that have containers of information. Basically, they're just computer server farms in containers. And they ship them to wherever they need to update their data. And yet, her personal AI, when she pulls it out of her pocket, is in the process of updating itself. And I'm like, from where? Because your ship got blowed up. So, where are you getting your... Are you special in some ways? You can get light speed data packets that nobody else can get? I mean, that would gel. She is corporate, but still. So, yeah, those were my two nitpicks. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. But anyways. It's very Traveler-esque, though, because it's Age of Sail kind of data. Anyways. So, Beth...
Yeah. If you got to ship mail, it's in a scout ship. And...
Right? Yes. So Beth, you got 3 samples of the different versions of Agent Sindal. Were you grabbing anything else before you bail out of here?
I can't think of anything else useful. We got the data. We got the samples.
Yeah. What about...
We're gonna... Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So said we're gonna grab Ting and not leave him behind.
Yeah. And so, Ting, are you grabbing anything in particular?
I'm taking the cargo loader and that crate full of stuff, and I'm loading it on the Dragonfly and getting ready and getting it all fired up, warmed up, checklist done.
Okay.
Preparing to take off, and when I'm at the Dragonfly, I'm making sure that all of our little troops are getting geared up. The Cyrus should be ready to lift off upon our arrival.
Okay, so here is the Dragonflyer craft copter. Excuse me. So yeah, you load up the Dragonflyer, and you guys are prepping. That loading it up probably takes you about 30 minutes, and you get everything kind of secured around what's left, or around the 2 G bikes that are in there. in your cargo hold, and
Mhm.
your cargo hold is stuffed with the 2G bikes in there, plus these gas canisters and whatnot. But the samples that Beth took, they are small. The 3 samples will fit in the palm of your hand, and so
Well,
um, so King, go ahead and make.
what
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
we can take the cargo loader, right?
I don't think so. Let me take a look.
You only got 3 tons of cargo.
Yeah, and 1 ton is taken up with G bikes.
Yeah, so that's 2 tons left.
Cargo lifter. Cargo lifter is on page 97. Yeah, its shipping weight is 3 tons. Exactly.
So if we had people ride the grav bikes back, we could take it, right?
Yeah, but if you do that, you're not going to have enough room to load in. I mean, it will take up every inch of your cargo bay.
All right then. We'll leave it behind. Sadly, it'll just be parked out front next to where our copter
Well,
was.
don't worry. In about 4.5 hours, it will be melted slag.
Yeah, well, there it is.
So, is
Just life.
is Keith jumping into the gunner seat again? Is that the plan? Or?
Yeah.
Probably it takes heavy weapon skill to use the gun, I believe. But
Is it?
uh,
Yeah, it
we
would
Plus
be
have.
gunner turret.
Yeah,
Or
no, it would be heavy weapons.
okay.
So Ting, go ahead and make a flyer grav plus dex check.
All right, flyer drive plus dex. I'm getting more dex than usual because of my suit.
Yep.
But 10.
Okay. So you guys lift off and are on your way back. Here. Good. You are on your way back to the downport up here. And so, like I said, this and pretty much most of this hex, well, not most of the hex. These hexes are quite large. Yeah, there's 718 kilometers per hex on here. So, yeah, there's going to be a nice big plasma plume as this base melts down. But yeah, you guys take off and are heading for the starport. Are you broadcasting this data packet to the news and to the starport now, or are you waiting until you're on your ship and taking off?
Let's wait till we're taking off. I don't want to be like a celebrity for half of the
We're not
stuff.
really that far. I mean,
Yeah, I mean, if you go to the east,
we go back this way.
yeah,
You
you'll
know.
come out this side. It's closer than, the long way.
I just don't want to be stopped, I guess, is what I was thinking. If anybody else has other thoughts,
Right.
I'm open.
That sounds like let's broadcast all this shit as we're lifting off,
Yeah.
and then do it to everybody and anybody, and maybe
Just spam it.
maybe while we're lifting off, I can do some good artistic shit with it to make it more presentable or whatever. I don't know, or we can do it raw, just no condom
How
raw.
can you make an Aslan eating somebody's intestines and present
Yeah,
them?
lead with the video of that, and then all the other shit afterward. People will read. They'll go, "What?" And then they'll read the thing.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. You're gonna basically Disneyfy The Exorcist, and so yeah, you guys get back to the starport. Pretty much everything is the same as it was when you left. 718 kilometers per hex. That is quite the journey, even flying. So probably by the time that you put down in the starport, this installation is starting to go tits up, and Um, it as you're loading the Dragon Flyer, I mean, around the starport there are large TV monitors, and there is a local news story about a large plasma fire on the southeast portion of the planet. Um, that they're not sure where this plasma fire came from. There are rumors that there was a scientific research installation there, um, and so fire crews are heading over there presently to make sure that they can take care of any survivors or evacuees, because there's really nothing around there.
There won't be any survivors either.
Right? Yeah,
Unless
probably not in a
you count really cooked dead turkey.
yeah,
Yeah.
a nuclear a fire that's as hot as the surface of the sun. So yeah, this is breaking news on all the channels. Your crew gets the Dragon Flyer loaded up, and the starport has given you clearance to take off. You are fully fueled. You paid for your docking fees. You are ready to go.
Let's go.
Yep.
Vegan.
As we're leaving, we're going to leave that whole broadcast. We're going to talk about how we're going to snitch out the Dawn Seeker and all of its accomplishments. So if it shows up around here, everybody would know that they are involved in this bullshit. And then put the video evidence and all that in a nice, good little bow tie package. You know?
So
I hope it catches on. I hope people give a shit.
Yeah, hope so.
So one of the benefits of starports is that if you Sagan is only 1 parsec away, but because you have starport data, updated data, because ships dump their astrogation logs or upload their astrogation as soon as they come into port. So starports generally have updated astrogation logs usually. And this is a Class A starport, so whoever wants to make the astrogation check for Sagan gets a +3 to that check.
Sagan is a J2 away from Tick Tick.
Oh, you are correct. It is, yeah, because you jump over tier. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds
9.
like.
Okay, so who wants to make the engineering power? Well, first of all, Beth, you need to make a piloting plus dex check.
Wow. Woohoo.
All right. That's weird. Here.
Is this a new?
This particular map is actually out of the book.
Oh.
So, Beth, you make your piloting check with no problems, and you are lifting off. So, Ting, so tell me again, what are you putting into this data packet that you're broadcasting this to both TVN, Traveler News, and you're broadcasting it to the Port Authority? Is that correct?
That's correct. As well as if there's a Taz office, I want to make sure they get it too.
Ooh, that's a good question. God, on TickTick? No, there's no Taz office on TickTick.
All right. Well, it's worth a fucking shot. Yeah, I wanna start off with a good video showing the rabid, crazy Aslan eating. I'm sure I've captured some of that along the way.
Oh,
And,
this is I'm sorry, this is a Class D starport. Ugh.
oh, that means there's no staff, but just maybe some fucking fuel guys.
Yeah, there's not a lot here.
Well, anyway, anybody and anyone that wants to listen, I'm gonna broadcast this shit out with video of the Aslan going nuts. Photos of the canisters and the complex,
Yep.
and then a data packet with proving that the agent. I'll censor out enough so nobody can recreate the agents from what we're doing, but enough to prove that it was there. They should have tons of video evidence of these things turning and all that, in their laboratory stuff. And
Gotcha.
I'm gonna put all that out, and then
Lab file footage.
and then I'm gonna try to make a well stated case to tie it to the Empress of Drinax.
Go ahead and make a deception plus charm check.
Deception plus charm.
You can make a deception plus intellect check.
Okay.
Because you're not really trying to be charming, you're just trying to be believable. Okay. So, yeah, you make a fairly good case that the current Empress of Sindal, one Lady Hill of
That's right.
has something to do with this. Like, she's funding it, or she's backing this research in some way. Possibly leading up to a war with the Aslan Herate.
That's right. Because she's in bed with the Glorious Empire, who's got a blockade on Drinax now.
Right. Yes, and she has recently hired a whole bunch of. Thank you. She has hired a whole bunch of Glorious Empire mercenaries.
Yeah.
So go ahead and make a. I guess that would be an electronics comms plus intellect check.
All right. Well, same fucking thing. I got a 9.
Okay.
It's out there. Out there for the world to see as we're doing a PR campaign against
Lady Hill. Yes.
Yeah.
So Ting is able to basically blast these data packets through the comms and get them directly to where they need to go with no interference. And so you are streaming this data, and the Osiris breaks Atmo just as his data packets have made their transmission. Technically speaking, any news service on Tick and the Tick Class D Starport Authority should be aware of the situation. They're probably now pretty aware of what that facility was as well. Who wants to make the engineering power plus intellect check?
Usually it's Keith, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, I can do it.
Yeah, he usually does that.
I'm +2.
12 on that.
Okay. And so let's see here. That's class
And then
D
you
Starport.
might need. Yeah, I don't. What is the Scouts' honor? Well, they're meeting us at Sagan, aren't they?
I don't recall.
So Keith can go ahead and make the engineering J drive plus intellect check as well. And it's at +0.
Another 12. We're good.
All right. So you guys jump into and the Scout's honor jumps with. Was it the Scout's honor or was it another one? I think. No, it was the Anubis, wasn't it?
Is Anubis.
Yeah, Scout's honor went back to
That's
Borat.
right, with the princess principal or whatever.
Yeah, the principal profiteer.
Right. And then
And,
hopefully, when we wrap this up, all that shit that was in that station is sold.
So
and we can, but we'll see.
Right. Yeah. So as you are in your week of jump, Beth, you're able to kind of go over these memory crystal drives, and you're able to kind of see the conclusion of the report for Agent Sindal, and it concludes with some final observations that have a rather chilling, callous detachment. Dawnseeker's crew are to withdraw and observe the results of the 3 infection methods. It is hoped that the dispersion by air method will achieve near total infection almost immediately, whereas the other methods are noted as being more chancy and likely to take longer for infection to reach what is described as a satisfactory level. It is also hoped that the infection will spread to other Ihati enclaves not deliberately targeted. The crew of Dawnseeker have been advised to remain in orbit in case the agent becomes capable of infecting non-Aslan, although this is noted as being extremely unlikely. If successful, the field test will confirm the agent is ready and fully weaponized. It is hoped that an air-dispersed version will prove viable, in which case Agent Sindal will cast a long shadow over the Aslan frontier.
Man,
And so
that's
Well,
sweet.
that is the
Shit.
conclusion
Cool.
of their report.
yeah. Dawn Seeker ought to be easy to find. I mean that.
Well, they've got orders to remain in orbit and watch.
Yeah. So.
They're gonna get smoked.
All right. What do you want? A sensors check?
No. We will pick this up next week with you guys coming out of Jump into Sagan at 7 o'clock on Wednesday night. We are playing the Wednesday night before Thanksgiving, so if there's anybody that's at home and has nothing to do the night before Thanksgiving, crack a beer and watch us.
Heck yeah. See you guys then.
All right, I will see you guys next week. Have a good night.
Come
night.
join us in January or February.
Oh, yeah. Yes. All right, have a good night, guys.